So I have said for a while that the person who benefits the most from Zoran winning the mayoral race in New York City is actually AOC. Because now she is no longer going to be seen as the leader of New York politics. He's the leader, period. And he hasn't even done anything yet. And the reason I say that is because we have pointed out a time or two on this channel that I am very appreciative of Marjorie Taylor Greene and how she has been very forthcoming about her position regarding the state of Israel and how she really is America first. But I don't trust her. And I know that she does insider trading. Now, she doesn't do it the way people like Pelosi and Wasserman Schultz do it, but she does do it, you know, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
However, AOC, who supposedly is a congressional representative, mind you, decided to put this video out on the eve of Zoran's election today. Put this out today. Thought that this was so damn important to put out there.
Tea for you.
Listen closely.
Here's some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no.
This is what you're spending your mental energy as a representative doing, is calling out someone else's dirty laundry. Look in the mirror, girlfriend. Look in the, how dare she sit there and go after someone else for their political ambitions and for their motivations? You are a self-serving grifter. Seriously. I don't know how she gets off doing this.
On election day, she does this. This is what's at the top of her mind, because at the end of the day, you have often said, whether you agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene's politics or not, she is much more becoming of a federal representative than Alex could ever be, because she actually did run a small business. She actually does have this real world experience. And I'm not taking away AOC's experience managing a bar or bartending, but the way she conducts herself is that of a bratty, mean girl teenager.
She's ridiculous.
This gossip stuff. The fact that she's wearing a sweatshirt and doing a live video. Yes, she is a very attractive woman, but who gives a fuck? It doesn't mean anything. How is she as a representative? You know what I've noticed? We're in a government shutdown right now, and she hasn't said a damn thing about why are we not getting single-payer health care like we're still paying Israel to have right now.
Well, and she's all for funding Israel. She's for funding Israel. So this is a genocide supporter. But the fact that she's using her platform, her space, instead of working on things for her people, to go after in a gossipy, petty, this is what you're doing with your time? Shame on you.
Look what our resident New Yorker has. Look what our resident New Yorker has to say. And this goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how fast time really moves. AOC has been in Congress for almost 8 years.
And what have you done, Alex?
Nothing. She's never passed.
What's your prize legislation that you've pushed through? What have you gotten for your constituents? What have you brought back to your district? What have you done? I'd love to see her list of accomplishments. I don't think there's any. I think she's one of the worst legislators in there.
No, she's been. This is one of the things that we always talked about when it came to somebody, even though I know not everybody likes her very much, but this is the complete opposite of somebody like Ilhan Omar, who is actually an exceptionally effective legislator who gets a lot of amendments passed on a number of bills.
Yeah.
She is a very effective legislator, and you never hear about it.
No.
But
she could pull up her record. Ilhan could pull up a list of things that she has done that have given tangible benefits to the people in her district. She can. Lots of them. So that's what she does. Like if I were to say to Ilhan, can you show me what you've accomplished? It's a book, literally and figuratively. But like, what has Alex done? What have you done?
I pointed out over a year ago, in fact, it was probably, I would say it was probably about a year ago, where Jasmine Crockett, who has been a guest on this show multiple times, not anymore, that's not happening. When she got into that butch body, whatever thingy argument that she decided to get into with Marjorie. And the only thing that I distinctly remember from that exchange was how AOC decided to interject herself into that conversation. She had nothing to do with it. It was Marjorie and Jasmine. Jasmine can certainly handle her own shit. And yet, for whatever reason, Alex decided, no, I am going to interject into this conversation of which I am not a part of.
Yeah, she was basically like white-splaining to Jasmine.
Oh, okay. Girl.
And then this person will put herself out as a woman of color. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
This is so petty beyond words. And let's just assume for a minute that Marjorie is completely full of shit, that she is only on this vendetta ride right now because she doesn't like the fact that Trump is not loyal to her the way she was loyal to him. Welcome to politics, baby. The more you're in it, the faster you'll learn. You really don't have any friends, except maybe Thomas Massey. Aside from that, this is what you want to spend your time doing? Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there as the only other GOP member of the House with a megaphone saying, get the fuck out of Israel. We do not want anything to do with this country anymore. And this is who you're attacking? This is who you want to go after? You're saying
she's following orders. She's following orders. I don't think Alex has had an independent thought in her head since she's been in that seat. She probably never had one prior to that either, but she is working for Team Blue. She does whatever they tell her to do. They divvy up the chores based on, we need this message and this is your audience and you've got this platform and we need to go after, and Marjorie Taylor Greene's getting popular and we can't have that. And she's just following orders. She's probably never come up with a single video concept of her own ever. I think she just literally follows orders.
Finish it up.
Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
And this is coming from someone who has no spine and would never challenge somebody to run for Senate. Would you, Alex? You wouldn't run against Kristen or Chuck. You wouldn't dare do that. You'll just sit there and wait until they retire. And whoever is in charge gives you the nod that it's your turn. And yet you want to go after someone for whatever their motives are speaking truth to power. Yeah, you just get out of here. You suck.
I mean, at least in Marjorie's case, she probably does want to run for the Senate. And perhaps she did reach out to Trump and inquired about his support. But I got to tell you right now, if this election night is any indication, granted, it was pretty much all blue states. Don't forget, New Jersey is a blue state.
Of course.
Virginia is a very blue state. So all the Democrats who are jumping for joy over what happened this evening, listen, the only thing that I hope truly comes of this is that maybe there is a slight panic in the GOP and they do rush to the table to end the shutdown, which would be nice. That's the only silver lining that I can see. Hopefully that happens.
They don't care.
But in the end, this political gamesmanship, this petty, mean girl type of behavior, again, a sitting congresswoman doing a TikTok live in a sweatshirt complaining about another congresswoman.
All right. I don't judge people based on casual appearance, but it's the fact that you would do a live and instead of putting forward something that you're working on, something of substance, something that's going to help people, something that'll help even just the people in your district. But instead, you decide to come on and sort of gossip and talk shit about what Marjorie Taylor Greene's motives might be for what she's doing. And here's the newsflash, Alex. I don't give a shit what her motives are. I don't care. I don't care. Just the same. If she's doing what needs to be done, then that's way better than what you're doing, which is nothing. So I don't care what her reasons are. I don't care if she has a grudge against Trump. Just because not everybody is willing to play a game like you doesn't mean that they're not doing something.
And that's the whole point. It's like, okay, so let's give you AOC the benefit of the doubt that Marjorie is upset and that's why she's going scorched earth.
Okay.
At least she's doing it.
Exactly.
She's saying, get the hell away from Israel. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
You're
Funding them.
a party that's not even in power. She's not just going against any president. She's going against a president that she walked over hot coals for and doing that.
I don't care if she's doing it out of sour grapes. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit why. Like, I don't think, Alex, I don't think that's the flex you think it is.
She is working hard for a ceasefire.
Oh,
the only person in the Democratic Party that crossed Biden and Kamala, the only one, was Rashida Tlaib because her family's being mass murdered. That's when it's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get on board with this shit. And yet, people wonder why the Democratic Party is dying. If this doesn't give you yet another indication as to why no one wants to be a part of this shit, and I don't blame them because neither do I.
Nor should
and I've already looked online and I've already seen all of the typical accounts. Some people we're friends with, some people that we're not, talking up the Democrats. Hey, you do what you got to do. My concern is fundamental revolutionary change in the country. You're not getting that with a few of these electoral victories.
No. And
However,
again, the Democrats are done nationally. I think that's the key thing people need to understand. Like, they're going to continue to exist for a small period in certain places and spaces, but that's only going to be ruined when the right eventually splits. And then there might be some sort of anti-war, a real America First party. And then the Democrats will lose even a little bit of the people that they have. So again, they might win in certain states, but they're done nationally. And I think that's the key point.
And I am going to continue to say this because we covered this yesterday. We covered it with a clip that dropped today. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face and I will not stop. The Democratic Party sees what's going on with Fuentes, Carlson, and Candace Owens. They know what's happening. And they also know that when push comes to shove, they are going to welcome the Zion-Nazis into their fold with open arms because they're going to paint Fuentes, Carlson, and Candace Owens as anti-Jewish racist bigots, and you have to come to the Democratic Party. I guarantee it. You can write it down now. I called it now. This is next. This is what's coming. Because they're going to get so in their head about people really like the Democrats now. No, all the numbers show that they won in spite of all of that. Spangenberger is a corporate-funded Democrat. Mickey Sherrill, sure as shit, is a corporate-funded Democrat. And everyone else who won this evening, except for one person, the one person they're not going to talk about, the person who had the greatest victory by a country mile.
With, by the way, what would be considered Democrat policies if they were actually a party of working people, right? So he's the only person that has espoused anything that would have ever been considered true Democratic platform policies if they had any.